Hello, everyone. Uh, Happy Saturday. Today I'll be looking at, I think it's pronounced Julep. Um, I noticed, uh, uh, I noticed this project. It's fairly new. I think I noticed it. I've seen it on Twitter a couple of days back, so I figured let's take a look at it. Let's see what it is. So yeah, I haven't done a lot of AI stuff in the recently, so excited to get back into it. If you haven't seen what I do before, I just pick a project and I go through it pretty much. I haven't looked at this before. I have to say, a couple of people from Julep reached out. Uh, um, but I try to not look at it too much to save for the stream pretty much. All right, so let's go through it. So the website, there's a GitHub repo as well. I'll take a look at this later on. I'll start on a website. So building stateful and functional AI apps. It's an open source alternative to Assistance API. Start your project with conversation history, support for any LLM, agentic workflows, integrations, and more. I think this just takes me to the docs, which I have open there. And then there's some examples here that we can take a look. And there's a video. Not gonna go through the video right now, but anyway, let's just go through the docs and see what this is about. So Julep is a platform for developing stateful and functional LLM-powered apps. Okay, so why? We build a lot of AI apps and understand how difficult it is to evaluate hundreds of tools, techniques, and models and then make them work well together. I agree. There's a lot of stuff out there. So what are the problems? The barrier to making LLM apps with memory, knowledge, and tools is too high. Agentic behavior is hard to control when done through multi-agent frameworks. Okay, so I think that's the same video. So what are some of the features? So statefulness by design, manages context by default, uses CozoDB to save and retrieve conversation history, OpenAI spectacles and documents. Support for users and agents allows creating different user agent interactions, like one agent, many users. Okay, so I think this is just a link to the docs again. Use and switch between any LLM anytime. Okay, 90 plus tools built in. Composio. All right, so this, what is Composio? Okay, so this might be some, okay, we'll get to it maybe. No, what is Composio? That's yet another thing that I have no clue what it is. Well, there's probably nothing in the dashboard. Let me just quickly check what this is. I'm assuming it's for composing things together, judging by the name, but I'm not sure. So let's see. Composio.dev. Infra for agentic triggers. Makes agents actually useful. Okay, looks like Zapier maybe on a first look. But anyway, well, that's not what I'm looking at today. All right, production ready. Deploy to production using Docker Compose. Support for Kubernetes coming soon. Okay. GitHub actions like workflows for tasks. Define agentic workflows to be executed asynchronously. Okay, coming soon. All right, let's see what's next. So we go to the concept. Sorry, so what is an agent? So a fundamental, oh, this reminds me, let me see. I saw the tweet again today, and I know did I bookmark it? I think let me actually see. Let's see how it's, there you go. So Hamel, let me copy the tweet here. So Hamel said, and it's really interesting. So LLM bullshit knife to cut through BS. So what is RAG? Basically provide relevant context. What is agentic? It's function calls that work. COT, prompt model to think fine, few shot prompt engineering. Anyway, so agentic function calls that work. So that's what I wanted to reference here. If you're not following Hamel, you should. All right, so what is an agent? Fundamental building block of an AI app built using Julep. Okay, so agents are conceptual entities that encapsulate all the configurations and settings of an LLM, enabling it to adopt unique personas and execute distinct tasks within an application. So what are some of the attributes of an agent? Some name, okay, about, okay, instructions, default set empty list, tools. All right, so this goes back to function calls. That's what agents are. Model name, the LLM, yep. Settings, documents to enhance the persona. All right, so this is like the RAG probably, and some metadata. All right, so here's a conceptual example of creating an agent with all the attributes. So some agent, what is this agent about? The instructions, so this is like a system prompt. And then tools, yeah, this is the agentic behavior here, right? Functions, so you define a function, describe it, parameters, right? And then when a query is made, right, based on these instructions, you're basically telling an LLM, hey, here's your system prompt, here's the query. Also, by the way, you can use any of these tools to execute them to get the answer or to answer the query pretty much, right? So this one has one function, it's called GitHub comment, and what it does, it's going to post a comment made on GitHub pull request after every commit, the tool, okay, and it describes what it does. And then the instruction for an agent is, in every pull request, review the changes, summarize the changes, and add a comment, right? So add a comment, that would be trigger this, right? And then the GitHub comment with these two, with a comment and a PR number, you can think of this as this will be an actual function that's defined in your code that the agent in this case will invoke and it'll post a comment, right? Which model, default settings, so these are just the model settings. And then docs here, this looks like it's RAG. If you're using RAG, pretty much this is where it comes from, and then some metadata that's attached to it. Okay, so that makes sense here. So format, okay, so that's the same format of a tool, yeah. Retrieving an agent, okay, so this is just explaining their API, I'm thinking. That's how it looks like. Metadata filters, updating it. All right, so what are the users? So that's the next concept. So real person or system that needs to interact with the agent in your app. Real people, other systems that require automated responses from an agent. So each application can have multiple distinct users that are interacting with a single agent. Users are optional, but recommended for applications where it's beneficial to create a user persona for each individual interaction with an agent, especially an application where capturing details about the user can enhance the personalization and effectiveness of interaction. You want to opt in and form memories about the user. So memories are formed and saved. So this sounds like, I don't want to minimize it, but sounds like a conversational history, right? I think. Yeah, so whatever user A talked about or the interactions the user A had with an agent A is stored somewhere and can be recalled later if needed, I guess. All right, so attributes are name, about, documents. Okay, so scope to the users. All right, so this very similar to an agent, but without the functions and the LLM. Okay, so an agent, so we're creating an anon agent, a 25-year-old man with acute recurring headache. Okay, and then documents attached. So I'm trying to think, what is the user here? Is this a user as a user of your application, and this is their like personal information maybe or something? Or is this, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully there's an example somewhere later on. All right, session, conversation, session between a user and an agent. Okay, so situation is defined to give context, conversation history is stored within a context. All right, so which agent and which user? what was the situation? So situation is a system prompt to describe the background and sets the basis of interaction with the agent. Shouldn't be in quotes, right? Because we know what an agent is, but so is this the system prompt for an agent, or oh, okay, maybe I'm thinking a little bit. Wait, let me see. Conceptual and to adopt unique persona. So in this example, this agent would be AI powered code reviewer, right? And it has these instructions. But then what would be the system prompt in a session? Oh, maybe we're going to explain it here, right? Of course. So some agent, some user, and then you are Sarah's mental health professional, public speaker, and renowned educator. You are licensed. You're okay. About you, important guy. Okay, so an actual system prompt. But why is this part of the session? Let me go back to an agent again. Oh, okay. So the agents are just something that knows how to perform, how to execute functions, I'm assuming, right? So it's like a different, so it's just a different abstraction, I guess. Okay, so retrieving, creating, okay, metadata filters, updating, okay. All right, quick start. Let's get to some code, probably. So creating a search agent using GPT-4o that calls a search and read post API and sets the appropriate filters and values. Okay, so install and run Julep locally. Option 2, use Julep Cloud. I did sign in, so I'll use Julep Cloud. I have the key, and then I have the, this is going to be Python, so virtual env. So I'll do that, and I think I am sharing the windows, both of them. Yes, all right. Okay, so virtual environment, and then I'll just do the .env so I don't forget, and we'll copy these. And I did went to the platform Julep.ai, and then you sign in and it takes you to the playground, and there's an API token here on the right. I'm assuming that's the API key, so I'll just paste it in here. And let's go back. So we have that. So let's export these. And I'll just do these like that. I'll clear screen here so no one types that API key from me. Oh, by the way, I looked at the API contents, of course, the API key contents, because it's just a JOT token. So let's. You ever see a JOT token and you're wondering what's stored in it? You can go to jot.io, paste it here, and then you'll see my email address. And when the token expires, I guess this is the information that they are setting, right? So rate limited, when my quota resets, what my client and server environment is, and version, and expiration. That's the part of the JOT anyway, right? Anyway, getting sidetracked here. Okay, so let's do the installation. So we'll pip install Julep. All right, I was painless. Setting up the client. I'm assuming it's gonna be client. Tip, probably add the file names. You want people to create these in. So client is a Julep client. Creating an agent. So, okay, so instructions are added to an agent. These should be clear, distinct, and direct as possible. Instructions should be defined step by step. We recommend to write the instructions in the same tone as system prompt. All right, system. Oh, okay. So we created a client. So we'll paste the instructions here, and I'll make this a little bit bigger. Oh, if the fonts are too small, just scream and I'll make them bigger. So the user will, so these are the instructions. So the user will inform you about a product they want to focus on. They will choose the following. They will choose from the following: assistants, GPT, DALL-E. Okay. You will ask and decide the product to focus on. If it's not clear, you will not proceed if the product's not. Okay? You will then ask. All right, so this is step by step what you're telling the agent to do. I'm assuming the agent. Ask the user the information. You'll generate 5 specific queries. The user will provide you with queries. If not, help them refine it. Only when the search query has been decided, search through. Okay, so this is where, well, the agent will probably define a search form function, right? And then this function will return the post IDs and blurbs. You'll read through them, tell the brief, okay? Make sure to use and refer to posts using the post ID. User will provide, like read post in the second function and pass it. All right, so you're basically creating a workflow here, right? You're creating a workflow of what you want your agent to do. All right, so tools. Open API specification of tools. Descriptions are crucial, more so than examples. Okay, so your description should explain every detail about the tool, including, so the tool in this case would be search forum, I'm assuming, and read post. I think search forum and read post are the two that we're declaring here. So these are some of the guidelines on how to write your functions, right? So what the tool does, when it should be used and when it shouldn't, the meaning of each parameter, caveats, limitations. The more context, the better the model would be at deciding when and how to use them. Aim for at least 3 to 4 sentences per tool description, more if the tool is complex. Okay, so this is what I was mentioning earlier. So you would define. Let's go to the code. So in your code, you would actually define, where's this literal coming from? From typing, there you go. So we're defining the search form function, and then the LLM will decide when to call that function, or even if it, like you could have a scenario in the instructions where you don't even call this function, right? So query order, I think this is max views, bin views, category, and then this is where you would write your function, and then read post, this is the second one, this is where you define the function as well. And then you also need to describe this, and I'll copy this, and we'll read the description. Okay, and I think I haven't done, I looked at a little bit directly in like how OpenAI does it, but I don't remember. I remember this is OpenAI's, I think, either OpenAI's or like a standardized. I don't know if we can talk about standards already at this point, but standardized way to describe a tool or a function. So, all right, so search forum. So we're describing it. It's going to retrieve a list of posts from a forum for a given search parameter. So it's going to take in the query, the parameters. The search parameters, all right, so all of them, include query and additional parameters. The tool will return a list of posts based on the search query and additional parameters. It should be used when the user asks to start monitoring the forum, okay? And then you describe what the parameters are. So query, order, and then this one has possible values that we define up there. And then the number, well, types are defined here already, strings and numbers. And then you can also specify which of these parameters are required. In our case, all of them. That was the search forum. And the next one is the read post. And what this one will do is it'll retrieve the details of a specific post from the forum. The tool should take the post ID as input and return the details of the post, including content, author, date, and other relevant information. It should be used when the user asks to read a specific post. So it takes in the post ID and it gets back a string. Notice that it's not like, we're not actually defining what the output of the function is per se, like in a formal way like this. We're just defining the inputs. Okay, so we have that. So now, an agent is an object to which LLM settings, model temperature tools are scoped to. The following is how you define an agent. So always add some metadata. It will be helpful later. All right. I don't think name Archie is helpful at this point, but I get the... I would add a metadata here, maybe that says category forums, right? Because this is something to do with the forums, or category or type search agent or something like that. But anyway, yes, you should add metadata if needed. Okay, so let's create an agent. So client is the thing that's coming from Julep. And it has, what does it have? So agent chats completion, memory session tools. I like this. I like that it's very simple. And there's so far only one library that I had to install. Like I remember LangChain, so many libraries, so many options and different things that one can do. Is just, it can be overwhelming. Anyway, so we're creating an agent called Archie, an agent that posts and comments on discourse forums by filtering for the provided topic. You're passing in the tools, you're passing in the instructions. So instructions that's the system prompt, right? But we'll see in the session, right? The model to use, the default settings, and then the metadata. Okay. The user, and then the user is the object which represents the user of the application. Memories are formed and saved for each user, and many users can talk to one agent. All right, so we'll create an anonymous user. Let's say product manager at OpenAI. Okay, so this is just about, and there's nothing, it's a user. And I think the idea here is that this could come, like you would have a user sign into your app, and then you would create in your database, right? Also, I'm curious where this stores the data because we haven't gotten that far. This has to be stored somewhere, right? I'm assuming at least for the users, right? For the memory and all that, right? But I can see the scenario here. You sign up, you log in, you sign up, you register, whatever. You give someone your email address, your ID, and that's where you would create a user instance in this format somehow, right? In order to, I don't know why it's explicitly called out that it's a user, but we'll see. Maybe it's used somewhere else. All right. So agent is communicated, an agent is communicated over a session. Okay, so you communicate to an agent through a session. I'm assuming that's what it means. Optionally, a user can be added. The system prompt goes here. Conversation history and summary are stored in a session. The session paradigm allows many users to interact with one agent and allows the separation of conversation and memories. So for each user, you would get a session. For each different user, I'm assuming you would have a different session. However, would you have multiple sessions for the same user? Probably, right? Because you could, yes or no, I think you could do both probably, right? You can have reusing the sessions if it's the same user or creating a new one. All right, so situation prompt is defined in a session. It sets the stage for an interaction with the agent. It needs to give a personality to the agent. Okay. All right, so situation prompt. You're Archie, a senior. Wait. Oh, okay. So Archie, the agent, right? Senior community manager. Oh, I'm a product manager. Archie is a community manager. Okay. You read through discussions and posts. You're extremely specific and understand. Okay. Oops. After that, you're helping the product manager at OpenAI. Okay, so this is, I'm trying to think what the scenario would be here. I think this giving a personality to an agent, like the agent itself, the instructions here are very, like it doesn't talk anything about who the agent is necessarily, right? Just gives the instructions. And then, I mean, it does tell a little bit here what this agent is about, but it doesn't give it personality, right? Personality in this case would be a senior community man. I don't know if that's a personality, but that's something more, right? You're making it specific, right? You could theoretically create another situation prompt that would be Barchi, a junior community manager at another company, right? Okay, so anyway, so let's copy the situation prompt as well. Okay, follow the instructions strictly, and then we're going to create a session. So we're going to point to the user agent, to the user and the agent. We're going to link them together in a session. We'll create add in the situation prompt and then some metadata there. Okay. All right, stateful conversation. Okay, so session chat controls the communication between agent and the user. It has two important arguments: recall, okay, and remember. Okay, so recall retrieves the previous conversations and memories, and then remember saves the current A tip here, I would recall remember, but you could also call this load and save, unless there's more, something more that's going on here. But anyway, so to keep the session stateful, both needs to be true. Both what? So these are true. Oh, okay. So this is not a, I thought I have to manually call these. All right, so, okay, so you're basically saying I want you to, like, I'm assuming behind the scenes, I haven't looked at the code, but I'm assuming this is, it's saying, remember, it's storing it somewhere in a database, and then recall is using it whenever you're talking to it as it has it as a context, right? All right, so the user message, so this is what user is gonna kick off the conversation about. I wanna search for assistance API errors in it. All right, so it's very, not very specific, but anyway, so we'll create a response. So this is, so we're gonna make a call in the session, client sessions chat. Okay, I could probably do session as well, right? Session.chat, no? I would expect I could, but maybe not yet. But anyway, so we're passing in the session ID. We're creating a chat. We're passing in the session ID and the messages, and the message is coming from the user message. So user is, is this the same? Yeah, it looks like, yeah. Are these like pydantic objects? Yeah, it looks like it, right? What is a user? Let's see. By the way, if you're on Mac, if you hold the Option key and click on it, yeah, it's a pydantic model. So if you click, if you hold Option and click on a name, and click on it, it'll take you to the definition. Okay, so it is a pydantic object, right? So I should be able to get a name from it, right? Down here, what I wanted to say is I wanted to do this, right? User.name. But I don't know if, maybe like, anyway, I'll leave it like this. There you go. So response, passing in the messages, setting recall, save and load, recall and remember to true. And then this would kick it off. But now we have to, what are we doing now? Okay. So wait, so on parsing the response, it's possible to view the, okay, so this is just an example, right? So agent response, else if, tool call, if tool. Okay, so this is where we would have to, all right, so let's try if this works. So I'll do, let's print out the response if we're gonna get anything. Note that I haven't set any like LLM settings. Well, I said the GPT-4o, right, here. So I'm assuming Julep is handling those costs, right? Because they didn't ask me for OpenAI key, right? So what do we call it? Client. Let's see. See what we get back. There's probably calling something here. There you go. All right, so it finished. So what do we got? So ID, finish reason, stop. So response. Systems kind great. Let's focus on finding posts related to API errors. To better understand could you please clarify with the following? All right, so this is now asking me, are you interested in such as any other specific, these details? All right, so it's just the first, right? So Archie was like, this was just the first response. So I'm thinking what's missing, it's it's probably missing here, not complete yet, right? You'll need like a for loop, right? Because you would display this to a user, and then I would respond back saying, hey, I'm looking for bug reports, right? Any type of error. Like, you would answer the questions, and then the assistant would respond as well. And then what this is doing here, this is where you would actually go and invoke the functions, right? Well, you would parse the response, and then you would say, hey, is there a tool call response in this response here? Is there a tool call? If it is, figure out what the name of the function is, and then actually go and execute that function, and then continue the chat, right? And basically say, well, here's what the function returned, and then the agent would continue with that one. All right, so I kind of thought that this was like already part of the framework of the library. But all right, so self-hosting, I'm not going to do self-hosting because I'm assuming it's the same. We can look at the code, right? It's Docker. Actually, let's look at the Docker Compose just to see what's in there, just for fun. So, okay, so this is what's there, right? So there's what is Kozo? Oh, Kozo is that database, right? Memory store. All right, so it has a memory store. It has an agents API. I think this is just depends on memory store and a worker. It has a worker, text embedding inference, docs embeddings inference, temporal, Kozo migrate. Okay, and then volumes. All right. So I'm assuming worker is where the actual agent runs. And these two here are just services for like doing embeddings, right? I mean, it says in the name, right? Text embeddings inference. And then I'm assuming this, oh, this is just an image. Oh, okay, so this is just a direct text embeddings inference for the CPU. Why are there two though? Oh, they're different, right? This one is using this model. So it's a different model, but two, right? One is using this one. What is this one? This is for documents specifically. Let's see. And it's probably multi-functionality, multi-line, multi-granularity. Okay, we're doing the following, re-ranking. All right, so this is just explaining how to use it, right? There's an actual GitHub repo for this. Retrieval and retrieval augmented LLMs. First embedding model which supports multiple retrieval models. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna go. But one is for text embeddings. The other one is for docs specific. I think that's what one is the LLM embedder. The other one, oh, it's probably here. It's this one, right? Fine-tuned based on feedback. Needs for large, including memory retrieval. It's fine-tuned. Okay, it's fine-tuned for question, conversation, long conversation, specifically for chats, right? Looks like it. Yeah, so it just runs those things, and then this worker will probably, well, I don't know, depends on agent. I think this is the actual like agent. I don't know what the worker is though. Maybe the agent calls the worker, and the worker depends and calls those inferences. The two inference services there, and then there's the memory store, the database, right? Okay. Let's go back here. Where were we? Self-hosting. All right, so not gonna do self-host. Okay, but self-hosting would mean that I could basically, yeah, I didn't want to go the self-hosting route because I thought I would like have to run something locally, but it looks like it's just OpenAI, right? pass in the OpenAI. It's going to use your API key instead of theirs, right? Okay, support for the following. All right, so this is coming soon. Cookbooks, example apps. All right, maybe we go through an example app. Maybe there's, so let's do simple conversational bot. What are these? I stuck up Kelly. Okay. All right, so do I need to, what do I have to do here? This looks like a workbook, but do I need to log in? Creating a user. So this is all the same, chat, all the same. Yeah, so I was expecting like this is just one run through and it doesn't really show, right? It doesn't really show that the memory actually works, right? And it's storing it and all that. It's just doing the first run through, right? I mean, just single response. There's no back and forth, right? Let me see if other examples are like that as well. Discord bot with long-term memory. Let's see, replit. All right, this one might have more. Let's see. I'm not deploying it, but not to Discord, but bot, commands bot. This is Discord stuff, I think. Commands, source commands, app commands. So yeah, so this is Discord stuff, and then showing bot events, so on message. So, oh, there you go. So start a chat, get the response. If it's assistant, then it's gonna go and reply. If it's a function call, go and call a function. Set up session. Delete. Okay, this is all mostly Discord stuff. Discord crud, if you want to call it Discord piping. But yeah, it's the same thing, right? Same thing as there. You call it, and then if the response has a value of an assistant, you reply, basically send a message back to the author who started the message. If it's a function call, then you call the function, right? And there's only one function there. So let's see if we can, let's see, I'll click through these two to see if these are implemented, otherwise we'll go and write something on our own a little bit. All right, so what is it? Julep examples, Dungeon Master, Masters of Dungeons and Dragons, okay. Run app. This one probably has the whole, right? Create an agent, retrieve, change. All right, so this, let's clone this and let's run this one. Oh, then there's the community feedback one. Yes, let's do this one. This one looks like it's actually created, or like, yes. Completed, that's what I wanted to say, not created. So let's clone this. Git clone. Julep examples, and it will show up here. There you go. And then we'll go Julep examples, and let's do community feedback because I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons thing. Oh, there's a wrong link here. Should probably go for community feedback, right? Yep. Okay, so community feedback, what do we have to do? Poetry, I think I have it installed. Poetry, install. No, Pi project. What? Oh, there's no Pi project yet. So community feedback. So can I do chainlit? Do I have the chainlit? No, I probably have to install, right? Chainlit. No, let's see. Chainlit install. Oh, there is. Okay, that's what it was. Never mind. Pip install. Yeah. Okay, so I'm installing that one. So let's go back. Oh, I can open it here, right? environment. Let's copy what I have from my local environment file. Oh, it's 2, right? Nah, cat. There you go. So I'll copy this API key here. Yep. And we don't need dot example, right? And can we do chain lit? No. Okay, so this will run. So we'll have to, how do we run it? Let's see, chain lit. Oh, I pip install. Let's do requirements. Let's see what else. I think I have everything. Yeah. I think this is broken here, but okay, chain lit run app.py. Okay, and this will run in a browser, right? There we go. All right. Yeah. So this is just the chainlit is just I think it provides the UI for it, right? And let's see exactly what are we doing here. So it's an it's Archie. There you go. That's Archie. Yeah. Hey, Archie's back. So Archie is the community feedback thing. Maybe in the example that you're going through, I just add a link to this, like to this project, this actual example here. So people can go and run it, right? Anyway, so what are we doing? So create an agent. So we're creating that same agent as we've tried to create before. We're creating the session. I think everything else is the same, more or less. Retrieve session, it's fine. This is just getting a session based on an agent and user. That's what they're saying, that it's important to set useful metadata. Retrieve the user. So user is going to be Sid. And so it's going to list the users, filter by the name Sid, and if it's not there, it's going to create a user, and then create a user is going to create an anon user, and then else is going to return the first one. But this will never be true, right? Yeah, so this should probably be anon here, right? So you're checking if the user already exists. If it's not there, right, then you're creating a new user with that name. Next time you try to retrieve it, you'll just return the first one, right? Okay. So on chat start is going to get the agent, get the user, get the session, set the variables. A new session has started. I think this one will go into the logs, and I'll keep it open like this. Yeah, there you go, right? New session has started, so everyone got their own GUID. And then when we send a message, we get the session ID. We send the message with recall and remember. We get the response, and we're saying if the response is coming from an assistant, send the response. If it's coming from, if it's a function, if the agent needs to call a function, what we'll do is we'll load the content. We'll get the arguments, we'll get the tool name, and then we'll check if we're searching the forum, then go and call search, pass in these args that we loaded, right? And then send that back into the same session, right? Session ID with the result. And then we're gonna await the message, right? Content. We're going to send the message, never mind, right? So whatever the tool responds with here, right, the content, we're just sending it back. Again, I don't think we need this here. And then if it's reading the post, it's pretty much the same thing. Get the arguments, make the call to the function, get the result back, and then send that result back into the session as a chat, and then again, we'll send it here, right? Send a message, yeah, okay. Repo, okay, and this is where the actual functions tools are implemented. So search, what is community URL? I haven't set this. So, community. It's community.open. So it's going to look through that one. And I'm assuming that search.json works. search.json. Is that there? Oh, there's, oh, okay, you can pass in queries, right? Okay, never mind. So yeah, make a get request and then do, oh, okay, and then you can do, whoops. Q equals what assistance API, whatever, right? Yeah, and this will give you the results. Okay, and then you can pass in order category, whatever else. You're gonna get back the filtered posts, right? Can I do preprint? Oh, there you go, it looks better. So we're gonna get back, parse the posts, and then we'll go through each post and we'll get out ID, blurb, like count, and username. So ID, there you go, ID, blurb, username, like count, we'll get that. We'll set the URL directly to that post, and then we're just adding it to the filter post, right? And that's search, and then reading the post is taking this ID, going to the same thing. So let's see if I take this ID and I go through posts, post ID.json. There you go. We get the actual, let's pre-print this one as well. We get the actual post, and we're going to take out raw, topic, slug, ID, and username, right? And then set the URL and return that post, right? All right, so this is fairly straightforward here. All right, so let's go here and we'll say, let's ask the same, well, ask the question. Let's see, what is assistance API? Okay, so the assistant is designed to, would you like, okay, so this explains what it is, and then would you like to focus on gathering feedback and understanding how people are using this? If so, what specific information or feedback are you looking around? I'm looking for feature requests. So now we're in this loop here, right? This on message. So whenever there's a message sent, this gets called, right? So I say I'm looking for feature requests. This is going through the, right, where was it, prompts, through the instructions, right? Products, what type of information, that's where we were, right? You will generate 5 specific search queries. There you go. So it generated 5 specific search queries, right? The user will then provide you with the queries they like. If not, help them refine it. So let's say, so let's do 5 specific, okay, let's do the number 5. Assistance API missing features. I made a typo there. All right, so now it's, see this, see here? It's using the search function. There you go. So let's see what had happened here. So these were all the posts to the Julep service. And then these are the arguments that were actually sent to the community URL, right? Assistance API missing was the query, and then features was the category, I guess, and then everything else stayed the same. And then the name here was the actual function, search forums. And this was saying, right, it took one step, right? And it called the search function and it get all the posts back, right? And then Archie responded saying, here are some of the posts discussing missing features, blah, blah, blah. So now if I click on it, these are the links to the read, right? And I think read was also, wait, when was the read thing? Okay, the user will provide, oh, okay. Now I have to provide the post, and I'll say, let's see, I'm interested. I want more information on the first post. So that's 714. So let's see, so this should invoke the read, there you go, read post 714, right? It's doing that one, and it's actually, it went there and got the detailed information, parsed it out, right? Points to the URL, and that's the end of the flow, right? At least the instructions. I'm assuming I would ask the question again here, and it could do something else. So let's modify it a little bit, right? Just for fun, and say the user will ask, so you can repost and parse it. Okay, so let's add another instruction and say, then you will ask the user if they want, let's say, to post a reply to the forum, right? Forum, let's say, If yes, you'll ask them the content to provide. Okay, try and call reply. You will, well, I'm just creating another function that I want to call, right? And we'll say you will then call, oops, and you will then call the post response, post, publish post, let's say publish post function, and pass the contents. Let's make text contents, right? So that's content, imagine to write content of the reply. So reply contents, right? There you go. So let's save this. And now we also have to go and define publish post with the reply context, contents. So we'll have here this add CL step. Okay, so I don't know what add CL step means, but I'm assuming that's the stream chain. What is this thing called that we're running? Streamlit, is it? Is that what it is? Chainlit, something chainlit, whatever. Async def, publish post, reply content. Yeah, let's just say we're gonna do. I'm not gonna actually go and publish it, but this is where you would do implement the publish post function to actually publish the reply, right? We're just gonna return. Do we return the message? Let's see how is it done here. So it's going to return the filter posts. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll just let's log it out. So we'll say just print it out, right? How did we? I'm just trying to see. Oh, it's pretty print this, and then it would just return the same value, right? Okay, so that's that. We have the function here. Now we also have to change define the actual function, and that was the tool. I'm trying to see where that was. Oh, tools, there it is, tools. So function, so I'll just copy this, and we'll define, is it publish reply, right? Publish reply, no, there was something else. Oh, let me do full screen here. Publish. It is publish post and reply contents. Okay, so publish post, and then reply contents. This is the string, the contents of the reply to post. And this is required, right? Reply contents. And over here, we'll say publishes a reply onto the post, onto the forum. I think we would, okay, let's do this. Let's do publish a reply to the post specified with the post ID, right? Because we would reply to the specific one, right? The tool should take the post ID as input and the reply post ID and reply contents as inputs. All right, that's it, right? It should. All right, I think it's fine. Should be used when the okay. It should be used when the user asks to publish a reply on a specific post. So maybe we call this publish reply, right? Publish reply, reply contents, and then we need another one, the post ID. All right, I'm trying to this post ID, and it's going to be, I think it's a number, right? Number, the ID of the post to publish the reply to publish the reply to. Okay, post ID. So we have the tool. Let's go back and do the post ID here, which is in and publishing. So say publishing the reply, publishing to post. Oops. Post ID, and then we'll say reply, right? Contents. Okay. Contents. This is just for us, right? And it doesn't matter what we return here. Well, actually, let's return the same thing. Yeah, let's do reply. It's this. or result or whatever you want to call it. And return this one, reply, and then now we need here or here. I'll copy the same thing. It's very similar, right? So the tool is not going to be read post. So if the tool is publish post, we'll do, oh, okay, this will be the reply, right? Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll reply, just call it the same, right? This is going to be the result from the publish post. And tool response. It's not content, so there's no JSON, right? It's just going to be a reply, right? We'll say this would be the result, right? If it was successful or not, right? So let's actually do that as well. Tools, publishes. Okay, let's see. Does it say? So let's see what it says here on the response. The tool, it should be used. The tool will okay, the tool will return. Well, let's do a simple thing, right? So let's do this. Let's say the tool will return a Boolean indicating whether the post was published, the reply was published or not, right? And we could also return like a full URL to the post or to the reply, I guess. All right, where are we? Okay, so we have that, and then over here we'll just say true, right? Let's say it's succeeded, right? Can we do like a randomly return true or false? Let's see if Copilot wakes up. Copilot, chat, and the editor. All right, write a Python code that randomly returns true or false. Okay, let's see. Here's a simple Python snippet. There you go. Oh, that was easy. I just kind of feel embarrassed here a little bit. Okay, so we'll just randomly return either true or false. So we can see both how it looks like in the response, right? True, false, that's fine. And then reply here, we'll call this response, right? Response, recall true, remember true. Yeah, this is all the same, all the same, all the same. Okay. Anything else? I think that's it, right? Do I need to... Yeah, let's restart because I'm not sure if it has the automatic restart or not. So we'll try the same. I'll try the same. What is this? I'll try the same conversation. Oh, it's gonna be the same user as well, right? So okay, so theoretically, there should be memory here now, right? Somehow. Well, let's see. All right, so this is more or less the same, well, very similar response. Let's do this. And yeah, similar. The ordering is different, so I'll say let's do number missing features. Let's do the missing features one. Okay, and this is doing search. We might get different results here, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, actually, we got the same, right? Yeah. I remember the name. And we'll say, let's try. Give me more details about the first post. This will read the post, and now it should ask me if I want to respond, right? No? Okay. Can you write a reply? Let's see. Oh, weird, it didn't summarize it, right? The user is suggesting, and then it stops, right? Oh, maybe, anyway. Can write a reply. Okay, all right, now we'll say, let's look at the code here. We should see our publish reply being invoked, even though it's not gonna do anything. I'll say, looks good. Can you post it? Come on. I can, why not? I added it there. Read post, publish post. Can you use the publish post function tool to do it? You have a tool. You should know. Oh, maybe there's, I don't have access. What? Why? That's interesting. Did I miss something somewhere? I mean, it is there. It is there. Do we need to create or retrieve a? Oh, maybe because we. Oh, maybe because we already created the agent. Is it the same idea of the agent? So 9b5, and this one was. Come on, creating user, creating 9. Oh yeah, so it's the same agent. So we have to update the agent, right? So let's say new Archie is going to be, so this will probably kick off and create a new one, right? Let's try it again. Maybe I should call the update here, but we should get a, oh, why is it the same? That doesn't make sense, right? The ID shouldn't be the same. It should be different. 9b1, right? Look, it's exactly the same. Let's do tell me about assistance API. Okay, feature requests. Feature requests. Come on. There we go. 1. Okay, so using search. But it's, I don't think it's gonna work, right? Because it's, oh, look at that. Now it actually shows me the, previously it was showing the IDs, right? Remember? Oh, and it's saying it's Archie. It should be new Archie. See over here, it was showing me post ID, and over here I actually get the titles. And it cuts it off. Is it... there was something somewhere, right? Let's see, Anon. I remember there was a limit token max tokens here probably, right? Which it's fine. But why? Okay, let's try something. Let's see if I can. Oh, the token is the same, so I'm not gonna get a different token. Show history. There you go, right? Archie. But why isn't there a new Archie? I want new Archie. Is there a name? Is there a name somewhere else? Oh, you are new Archie. I don't know how it, like this should create a new agent, right? So where is the retreat? Oh, that's why. Okay, so let's do this. So agent name, new Archie. It was all good, but it was picking up the previous one because this was the key here, right? When it was listing it. So let's do this. Even though it created the new one, right? It, when it was calling retrieve, it retrieved the old one. So, okay. All right, so it should work now, I hope. And then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. Creating a new agent. Yeah, there you go. See, new different agent, agent ID. So we have a new agent now. Great. So now we can say, tell me about assistance API. There we go. I'm interested in feature requests. I'm pretty sure it will work now because it's all, there's no new API features. Let's do this. And now it's going to do the search. And then it'll probably ask us if we want to post a reply. Previously, the previous thing that we were going through, it was still using the old. Okay, and it cuts it off here because it's the limit is set there, which is fine. Give me more details about the first one. Okay, so read post down here. See it? It looks interesting, right? It's the thing that I remember I looked at tools a little bit at OpenAI, like the API, but I don't remember, so I don't, like I would have to compare it, like to see what the value here, I mean, the value here, it feels like the whole, yeah, I'm trying to, like the fact that I don't know what's not there in OpenAI versus what's here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the, like, what is the value add here necessarily, right? Probably the memory stuff. But anyway, all right. So detailed, blah 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 blah. Let's say let's post our reply. There we go. Please provide a comment. Thanks for your help. Whatever. It's not gonna post it anyway, but we should see the. Yes. Yes. No. So reply with thanks for your help. Oh, it's still thinking, probably, right? Yeah, so the thing that would be interesting, and I'm trying to think about, like, imagine if I could deploy these functions individual. Well, you could probably do that already today, right? Like what I want to do is I want to write the functions. I want to deploy them somewhere. And I don't necessarily want to write this. This is like this is just like a glue code here, right? There's no, like it's to say, you see it, right? It's to say, it's copy paste, right? It's the copy paste thing. So, oh, is it publish post? It's not publish post, right? Oh, of course, that's why it's not working. It's publish reply. Oh, see, it's all me messing things up. That's why I didn't invoke the thing. So, okay, so let's do even newer Archie. Let's do this guy. Now it'll work. It has to because my microphone battery is going to die. All right. Yeah, it's a new one. Tell me about assistance API. So yeah, so what I wanted to say, the idea would be, I don't want to write this glue code. I just want to give you the functions. You host the functions for me. You invoke them and you handle all that. So you could get rid of all this. Okay. Feature requests. Okay. Okay. New feature requests. Let's do that. Using search, yep. And then we'll ask for more details, and hopefully we'll post a reply if I didn't miss something somewhere. Oh, I did. Blah. Oh, no, it's fine. This one doesn't matter because it'll just call it. That's fine. So first one, give me details of the first one. Yeah, this one, the name here doesn't matter, but you should probably call it the same, whatever you're calling it. Wherever you're naming your tool, it should be the actual function name as well. But in this case, it doesn't matter because the tool name that we have in the definition is the same as this one, and then we're just calling. Would you like to reply? There you go. Now it's coming here. Yeah. Would you like to reply? Yes. Yes. Send the following reply. Thank you for this, whatever, right? And now we should see the thing called. There you go. Oh, there's an error, but we're there, right? What? Input should be a valid. It did call. See, it did call publish post. I don't know why it failed, but types are body content integer valid type. What? Oh, because it's just oh, I know why. It's we're returning true here, but it should be a string. So there should be, right? str. There you go. I think that's the problem. Let's do Even newer Archie 123. The art of naming. Last one. I don't want to see those errors there. Is it a new one? It's a new thing. Tell me about the new features in Assistance API. So now we're more specific, so maybe we'll skip a step. What? Oh, feature requests, right? User feedback. Okay. What would you like me to? Performance. Do a search. Maybe it doesn't. Oh, it does. First, number 1. Okay. No, okay, now it's doing the search. Okay, first one. Using read post. Now it should ask us if we want to reply. Yeah, the reason it was failing because we can't send like true as a type back, right? Yeah, okay. Send a reply saying thank you. There you go. Yay. There's an issue, right? Because it returned false. Yeah, but see the comments here. Publishing to post and other contents. Thank you. Issue. Yes. Try again, and we can try until it's true, right? And it'll tell us. Same thing, right? The reply was successful. Perfect. Works. It worked. All right. Anyway, yeah. Interesting project. I would want to see more. Like, what is the actual like value in terms of like the memory and all that, right? I would focus on that one to show that more. Also show more what is the like the situational thing. How does that work? That would be interesting for sure. Yeah. Yeah, like all these LLM support, I mean, in the end, it's the same thing, right? There's just make sure it's the same, like you offer the same interface and then you know how to parse it, right? But rather than going like this, I would go deep, like pick one and make it really well, right? And then you can add the others later, right? All right. Anyway, thanks everyone who stuck around and hope you all have good rest of your weekend.